Hey, Mark, how you doing? Thanks so much for being here. Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Appreciate all you guys being here. It's probably Mark's the only one. I'm going to get my drink open. Sorry, this is a few minutes late. Okay, so I wanted to go over the yesterday's max factor was a disaster, was an unmitigated disaster. So we're going to go over it again real quick without the reveal. No reveal. And I made a list for everyone. I know Mark's the only one here, but for everyone that's watching in the future, I made a printable, sortable list. For everyone, just because I feel bad because it wasn't working. Half the technology wasn't working. I recorded the show in 2 segments. Anyway, so I just wanted to catch up on the max factor. And then we can look at some earnings trades. You guys can ask me a question. We can talk about being honeypotted. We can talk about honeypots. What else would I write down that we could talk about? Oh, an earnings trade. We have earnings coming up this week. Or any type of yield max gossip or whatever we want to talk about. We can talk trash on other influencers. I'm just joking. We don't do that. Or I do that sometimes, but I don't. Anyway, I need to quit doing that. All right, share the screen. Let's get this thing going. So first of all, I'm going to do about a 5-minute, 10-minute makeup session from the max factor, and you're going to get some bonus content too. Let's see here. Where's this page? It is right here. Okay. No, not that we aren't going to do the countdown. The countdown's dead. I may stop doing the countdown. Oh, shoot. I forgot to publish it. Anyway, okay. Hang on just a second. We're going to publish that. Copy the link. You guys can have the link too. I'll put the link in there in case you guys want this for yourselves. All right. Let me get some caffeine. Where's the caffeine? Here's some caffeine. Okay. Just kind of like the other thing, but I just nixed the reveal feature so we can and I made it sortable and anyway. Okay, so and I also put a new factor on there, Max's Moxie factor. If you guys watch my afternoon shows like you do, we talk about that a bunch, but people that watch the top 20 show may have never heard about that. Okay, the short-term top 20. This was wrong yesterday. I don't think iGold was in the one I did yesterday. Wasn't TS2 and number 1. Anyway, I think there was some stuff, but I fixed all that stuff. So this is the real short-term max factor. So remember, we didn't have 20. So from 20 down, it'd be IWMY, YBTC, YBIT, InFly, WDTE. It kind of surprises me that one's on there. Maybe this max factor screwed up too. I mean, these are good ones that deserve to be on here. I mean, well, that's why I had the thing print out the metrics. How did WDT get on here? It yields 36%, of course. I mean, that's what it does well. I mean, it's I think it's a 30% target fund now, so it may not yield that much in the future. But I mean, over the past year, that's probably the rolling average. It used to yield a lot more than that. 8.7 on a vol, down 4% this quarter. But I guess a lot of the other ones in the top 20 are down this quarter also, right? Because I mean, just because of Friday, I mean, and has a 6% 1-year total return, which isn't very good. Anyway, whatever. I'm not picking on WDT. NFLP, XDTE. See, XDTE I thought was kind of a better version of WDT. Now, I thought that in hindsight because at the time I liked WDT. I didn't. But anyways, I'm not trying to say I called XDTE like I called Alti or blocks, but I'm not trying to say I called XDTE. But there's similar strategies. So let's just compare the two together. So WDT yields 6% more. XDT is a little more volatile. Okay. XDT is also uncapped at night, where WDTE is capped 24 hours a day. It's not only what strike you cap at, it's when you're doing zero DTs, it comes down to, are you uncapped at night also? Or do you just sell, or do you sell it in the morning? Or do you really do your zero DT from 301 to 301 one day or 401 one day to 4 o'clock the next day? That's the way that's the way number 16 WDT does it. Number 14 sells it in the morning. That's probably also why it has a little extra volatility, because it's uncapped at night, free to go way up and way down, just whatever happens tonight. All right, QDT, it's a NASDAQ version of the same thing. Also round hill, good looking fund, 38%. It's more volatile because it's related to the NASDAQ, blah, blah, blah. But it had 12% total return last year. That's really good. All right. TSMY, Babo, XYLG, that one always gets an asterisk, and I've explained it a million times, but they paid a special dividend. It really yields 6%. It's not a bad fund, but if this really reflected the true yield instead of the trailing 12-month yield, but to be fair, I judge all of them on the trailing 12-month. So anyway, Tesla, that's one that I don't think many people would argue with. The Tesla part of it, they wouldn't argue with. They may say Tesla sucks. I like TSLW, but heck, we got TSLW too. You can see the difference because they're right there by each other. Tesla doesn't suck if you want yield, but it does suck if you want, or it sucks compared to TSLW if you want NAV return. TSLW is up 9% this quarter. Tesla's up 4%. TSLW is almost 10, and Tesla's rounded to 4. So, but I mean, it's about the same difference on the, on the other side of the dividend. All right, here we have blocks. Trailing 12-month is 28%. And of course, that's an adjusted trailing 12-month because blocks hasn't been around yet, but that's what the trailing 12-month projects to. A lot of these on the short-term max factor haven't been around for a year yet. Blocks is kind of volatile. It's a 40 vol, meaning it wouldn't be surprising if it was up 40% in a year or down 40% in a year. That's within one standard deviation, very standard. It wouldn't even be shocking, right? I mean, it's just, it'd be like the SPY being up 15% or down 15%. It's the same. Wouldn't be shocking. Oh, the SPY's down 15%. Okay, it's a bad year. SPY's up 15%. Okay, it's a good year. But they're within the realm of possibilities. All right, then we have GUI, GDXY, yielding 44%. Good job. Silvo, K-Gold, TS2, and then iGold. So let's just look at iGold and K-Gold and see how they both got on here. iGold paid a higher yield. K-Gold, kind of true to Howard, paid a lower yield. I bet you the NAV's a little better. Sure enough, 18% for K-Gold from Howard over there a curve. I don't know who does iGold, probably iShares, and 13% for them. But iGold has a good record, 30% total return. All right, that's the short term. Here's the long term, and then I'll give you guys the bonus content. And then you guys can ask me about your favorite fund or whatever. I'm going to go check the comments to make sure I'm not and nothing screwed up. Hey, Blackwater, how you doing? Anyway, sorry about the shows yesterday, just trying to make it up. And I figure if we take the reveal feature out, we could just do it real fast this way. Okay, long-term max factor. XDTE made both lists. WDTE made both lists. Surprisingly, a little bit. I was kind of surprised that WDT doesn't get on the list often, but if you look at, that's why I had this print out everything where we could look at it. If you look at it compared to ones that so-called don't erode, like Round Hill or whatever, people used to think XDT, no, it doesn't erode. Round Hill doesn't erode. But they were just confused because it was uncapped at night, so it's catching extra upside. But everything that pays a dividend erodes, as you guys know, or the dividend is the erosion. Everything has the potential to erode, maybe. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, then we have IWMY, but this is a win for the indexes. Look at this, IWMY paying 64%. I know a lot of people that like that. I've never had it, but a lot of people like that, and I see why. So let's just look at WDT and XDT. So this is over the course of a year, so this is a perfectly fair comparison. WDT paid us a little bit more, and they have the same NAV. So, I mean, actually, WDT is a little bit better, so you can even see why it's ahead of XDT. XDT is Round Hill, WDT is Defiance. Anyway, QDT is better than both of them, or has performed better. Then we have YMAX. I mean, YMAX is something else. Look at this. Pays a 67% yield, which you guys all know about. This number right here, this blue number, is the volatility. It's a low volatility considering the yield. Anyway, then we have Misty. Look at this thing, 208%, 43% total return for the past year. TSMY, ULTY, I like to see that, paying 130, only an 18 volt, so kind of similar to YMAX. It's paying a lot of a See, a 52 vol means it's not surprising, and you can't even be mad if this stock is down 52%. That's well within the realm of possibilities. It's possible, I mean, or it'd be like the Nasdaq being now 20%. I mean, you'd be mad, but it wouldn't be surprising. It wouldn't be like, oh my God, this is the worst year ever. It'd be within the realm of possibilities, or expectation. Let's say. Anyway, here's Alti. I sure like Alti a lot better than Misty. You guys know that. Look at because of the lack of volatility. True doesn't yield as much. True, it doesn't yield as much, but part of the Misty's high yield is the price declining, and so that part of that's not really fair. So, but the max factor parses that out, and when you parse all that out, they're both good, but Alti's a little bit better. There's lots of weeks Misty's ahead of Alti, so this is also backwards looking. So I should say Alti has done a little bit better. Anyway, 7th place Alti. Then we have YBTC and YBIT. Those were 19th and 20th on the other list, right? I believe they were. Anyway, on the short-term list, these things are kind of pick your poison. Some, different companies, some pay more, and then the ones that pay less have better NAV return because of math, because that's the way math works, So NFLP, this one's a good one. Pays 25%, had 46% total return last year. Look at everything on this top 11 list. Look at the last year total return. I mean, the lowest one on here is 12%, and it's ranked the lowest, but it's still, that one's paying a 38% yield on a 12 vol. I mean, QDT's a monster mathematically, statistical monster. I mean, and so is Alti, and so are all the ones or most of the ones that I have. And of course, GDXY, heck yes, you got look, I like that. I like that. It kind of surprised me it's still up there after the other day, but I mean, it is, well, no, it isn't, because it actually didn't fall the other day, but it fell the day before the other day. It fell in advance. I wonder if GDXY knew something. I'm just joking. All right, so here's the new bonus content. Once again, I'm going to stop over at the comment section to make sure I haven't lost control yet. Good, I haven't lost control of you guys yet. All right. Max's Moxie Factor. The guys that are in here, how many's here right now? It's Sunday morning, probably not very many. 10. That's fine, though. The guys that are regulars know about Max's Moxie Factor. The guys that aren't, don't. So let's talk about that real quick. Max's Moxie Factor, I need to get a better name for it. I'm thinking about calling it M squared or M factor. I don't know. Anyway, Max Factor, maybe Max Factor, the potential Max Factor, maybe something like that, because it measures an ETF's potential. And so, what we all like in ETFs, what I want in an ETF is an ETF that pays 1,000%. Of course, that's not realistic, but I want an ETF that pays as much as Alti, let's say. It pays 100%. I mean, in my dream ETF, if I could create one, it pays 100% and it gets the same NAV as the market. But I'm saying, so that's not mathematically really possible. But anyway, but the Max's Moxie ranking, what it looks at is it tries to pick an ETF that pays the most yield while taking the least amount of risk. And that's where my volatility rankings come in, where I'm. So anyway, so let's look at Max's Moxie ranking. What do you guys think's number one? We're going to scroll up real quick. Hopefully you didn't see it. All right. QDTE, I mean, it's the same ones that are doing well also have a lot of Moxie. This one's paying a 38% yield and it's only a 12 vol. Look at this one, NVYY paying 102% yield and it's only a 31 vol. I mean, just it has potential. It does. You still need the underlying to go up, but these are the ones that have the growth engine to grow. XTT, YMAG, these are all the ones we talk about all the time and you guys talk about, and that's why you guys talk about it. You may not have a factor going or you haven't run a number on it, but you just see the ones that do well. People love all of these. You guys all have all of these, a lot of them. XBTY, now I don't think this one's been doing too well. I think I've heard people disappointed about the performance, but anyway, Coney ICOI has a lot of potential, given how much it pays. Maybe I should call this the Yield Chasers Index, because that's what this index does. It tries to put you in the highest yield ones that are reasonable. Now, Fiat's an inverse, and I don't really think I need to start excluding the inverses from this calculation and have a special inverse show. The inverses may start getting their own show next week. I don't know, but anyway, for now, I mean, number one is always all, because it's amazing. You get to pay 130%, and 18 is barely more volatility than the NASDAQ has, than just the Qs have, meaning, you'd expect it to be up 18%. Maybe it was up 24% last year total return. So it was actually a little bit of an outlier, just given its volatility, but so it could mean it could easily be down 18% next year or 24%. You just have to be aware of that. But it's not like something that's a 70 vol where, the 50 vol ones, or the ones that are 100 vol, that means they have like a 1/3 chance of being out of business next year or something. I heard somebody work the math out on that one time. But I promise you want the lowest volatility you can get at the same time with the highest yield. Anyway, some other ones are USOY. That one's had poor performance, but like I say, you have to find an underline that's going to go up too. But these are built. I mean, these are built TSYY, IWMY. It's less volatile than Alti. Yields about half as much. But anyway, triple QI. I love this one. No one else does. That's fine. It has a lot of potential. WDT, we've talked about that extensively. Gold Y has a lot of potential. They shut this fund down, or they're shutting it down, and I didn't know it. I was on a live stream and I mentioned it the other day, that fund, and I should have known that. It's embarrassing. Anyway, but Bo or Marcus, it was Marcus, told me they're shutting it down. Anyway, it needs to come off the list too. But the good news is, I guarantee you there's one that's not on here right now that came out 3 months ago that should be on here. So I need to go look through the recent releases or whatever. I mean, and then I'll just substitute it for wherever that one is. But anyway, that one was fun while it lasted, right? I mean, I talked to people that liked it. Look at this vol. It's a 3 vol and paid a 13%. I mean, anyway, whatever. But anyway, okay. YMAX and Misty rounded out. HYGW. I never talked about that one. I don't know how I got on there. All right, so that's it. Now I'm gonna, if you guys want this yourself, here, let me put this in the comment section. Make sure I haven't lost control. If you guys aren't arguing about anything. All right, guys, 8 of you still here. I've only run 2 people off. That's awesome. All right, let's do some other stuff. But on Sunday morning, I'm not expecting a lot of people to be here. Let's look at let's go to Discord and let's go look at, where did I see this? It was under research, I think. Or resource room. Anyway, somebody posted a list of the earnings trades. There's a jillion ways to do it. Let's go this way. And then we're going to use stock tools to try to find something to do. We're going to look at earningshub.com. We'll sort it for the earnings trades coming up this week. I'll probably have some earnings and or option content or something. We're just hope the market bounces. Probably go a little bit lower before it bounces. I have no idea. It's up a little bit right now. In 24/7 trading, I checked it somewhere. Weekend Wall Street. I checked Weekend Wall Street. Okay, so I've always been taught, oh yeah, tomorrow's a holiday too. I forgot about that. But futures are going to be open though, right? Boy, Monday the 13th, especially after the day we had the other day, that's a scary. I think Monday the 13th is worse than Friday the 13th. I've always thought that. Monday the 13th in October. Also, with the market not open, wonder if they start selling futures in the markets. Oh my gosh. Hopefully that won't happen. I mean, and the market's thin, but I don't think that'll happen. Anyway, but So if the market's not at zero by Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning we'll be looking, or Tuesday we'll look before the market opens. Actually, we'll look at a JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi, BlackRock, all the banks. And when the banks have earnings, I've always been taught, or they used to always say on Taste Trade, that starts out the new earnings season. But also that they used to say more than that too. They say you can tell by how the bank's earnings are going, how other stuff's going to go too. So it's exciting. It's all starting. Those are liquid. But we don't have anything on, so we aren't going to be able to get anything on in those because it's before the open Tuesday. There's nothing after the close, which is kind of weird. This is just $100 billion companies plus, but I just like liquid stocks. So these are the ones that have potential to be liquid. American Express. You can see it's all the financials. Anyway, then let's go to the following week. Then we have some, okay, and then we get tech earnings. Netflix is a super liquid. Tesla, oh my gosh. And of course, these all have high yield implications too. So that's going to be interesting. Maybe we can look at trying to, maybe we can look at trying to hedge profits in Tesla, because I wonder if they miss earnings. People in Tesla have, or TS anything, have made out like a bandit lately. Maybe we need to look at Tesla put spreads or something. And maybe I need to make some content on how to lock in your gains in Tesla or whatever, but especially Tesla because it pays the highest yield. Or maybe TS2 does nowadays, but whatever. But Intel is not a great company, but it's liquid. Usually it's, I don't know, lately it hasn't been. Used to be liquid. Used to be a good company too. Let's see what's going on with that. $36. Let's look at it 1 year. It's because it's rallied. Yeah, it rallied since, it rallied lately, or it's rallied a lot lately. Whenever Trump got into office, didn't he help it out? Didn't we agree to, or yeah, the government took a stake in it, remember? And he kind of bailed it out or whatever. Anyway, maybe they put in a bottom. Maybe it's a great company. But nicer to get it at 20 than at 30, right? Anyway, we have Intel coming up, and then I'm not interested in any of those. Blackstone, who cares? But the prime ones are going to be Tesla, Netflix, in my opinion. Tesla, Netflix, and anything in earnings, anything in banks the week before. And then the very next week, we're going to have, this is the big week because it has Google, Yeah, this is my favorite week. This is like shooting fish in the barrel this week. I mean, you have your choice of every liquid tech stock in the world, or every liquid optionable stock. I mean, the big ones too: Apple, Amazon, big tech. You want to talk about big tech? So hopefully that'll be some good content, or if not some good content, some good fun. We'll see. All right. So, hey, Thomas. Yeah, the market's been inventing a scenario in my head where the futures market started selling off because of something, and then people could cover in the cash or physical market. I don't know. And just I'm superstitious. Monday the 13th, and after the day the other day, if some kind of, I'm not saying it, but anyway, that'd be a nightmare though. And I'm on Twitter too much. I'm too much on social networks. That's all anyone else talking about on Twitter is anyway. All right, I need to stay off social networks. Audio's choppy. Okay, I'm sorry. Interesting. All right, let me try to fix that. I'm on Spectrum, which is, I have two Wi-Fi signals in this house. I have Spectrum, and then I have another one that's sometimes better, sometimes worse. I'm just going to switch signals. It might go down for a second. Let's try this other one. All right. Can you guys hear me now? Anyway, let's see if this is better. We'll see if this is better. Hey, Michael, how are you? But if the audio is choppy, I can just shut the stream off. I just wanted basically to give you guys the top 20 list. And I wanted to try to make up for yesterday's, and I was bored, and I wanted to talk for a little bit about earnings trades, but I'm out of stuff to talk about. I mean, I don't know, but anyway, yeah. But the market's not open tomorrow, so that's the other thing. I could do a live stream tomorrow morning too. That's what we'll do, a live stream tomorrow morning, even though the market's not open, and we'll look at bonds and we'll look at futures because they'll still trade. I believe even when the market's closed, sometimes futures trade, and if futures aren't trading here, they'll trade somewhere, and we'll be able to look at it. And just we'll be able to make sure the market's not crashing. How about that? But anyway, like I said, I got everything accomplished. I want to get to 1040 on the East Coast. Oh, the market is open. Okay, my bad. Okay. Well, when I saw that no one had earnings trades and that it was Columbus Day, I thought the market was shut. Okay. Well, I'm going to definitely be here tomorrow morning then. But yeah, I saw there was no earnings and it was Columbus Day. And then I thought, oh my gosh, because people on Twitter are so stupid because they always talk about the market's going to crash on Monday the 13th. It's going to be, and I was thinking anyway, and then I was thinking, what are they even talking about? It's because I also talked to somebody today that's off work tomorrow. And then so that got me thinking about it because it's Columbus Day. Okay, market's open tomorrow. All right, well, we'll be here at the normal time. How about that? 9 o'clock tomorrow. But anyway, if there's in the absence of any questions, I'll let you guys get to church. It's still 1040. Yeah, I know. I got it. I got it. Bonds and banks are closed. It's just bonds and banks. Okay. And audio still choppy. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later.